Hi there and welcome to my channel. This is Kate from the Journal Nest and I'm really happy to have you with me. This is an early morning video and I haven't done one this early, but that is going to be really a reflection of my excitement. I've been really busy and today's going to be a very busy one for me work-wise. So I'm going to start my day with some stitching. Whatever you're doing, I hope you are relaxing and feeling well, and let's go. So I did a little bit of a shop and now I've done a little bit of a sew. I am missing my nest and I have to make a confession that my backdrop of my woolly blanket that came with me has had to be sacrificed because I have put together a little pouch of joy made with many of the things that I shared when I went shopping at a vintage shop here in the US. So woolly blanket has become the centerpiece of my pouch. I mean the lining. No, it's not the lining. It's what I sew onto. And some of you have said that you've taken this up. There's nothing like it. I think I'm going to end up lining the pouch with part of this sugar sack. Many of you, again, have helped me out with my understanding of the use of these things. It's a beautiful, soft fabric, and I think that might be a lovely memory as well. Don't usually use prints inside, but it will be lined. So back to what I have put together. So I think you probably saw my excitement when I found a pink butterfly, and I thought that has to be featuring on this front page. I want the idea of the yellows because I'm in the sunflower state. Oh, I meant to tell you about the butterfly. It actually has a little pocket in it, and I've left that open for the moment because I might put a treasure in there. You know, what about one of my dangles like this or any, I'm not sure. So I put together, I'm going to open it out so you can see which way. I'll go this way actually first, and then you'll see the layout. So we have to, when we're making a pouch, we have to be mindful of the top and the bottom. So this is the front flap, pretty obvious. Lace here, lace, bought this one over from home. This was part of, I've left this, this was that very old vintage. I discovered, I think it was an apron. So I've left that dangle on for the moment. Inside, not so much work, and we're going to start on this morning, but I couldn't resist. There's that little bird of happiness. So each time I look at this, the bird will be there and balanced with the butterfly. On the back, just starting to form the pieces. This bit of very vintage, delicate doily, I suppose that one was, or a napkin. Yeah, it was a doily. Coming over this side, another bit of this lace. And that's from the shop as well. This is a bit of the, oh, I meant to tell you that. This is the sugar sack. And over here, I'll bring it up. I wanted to keep that word generous that was printed on there. So that's gone there. So it's taking shape, and a second bird there. So I'm going to settle myself with some stitching, and I want to work on this part here. I've got some thread. Now, how are you going with what you're working on? Hope you're having fun with it and resolving. I'm just going to start in the middle here. I better check. Yeah, I've got a bit of shadow because I am missing my nest, I have to say. It's hard when I haven't got yeah, my nests around me. But being here is such a joy, really. When you can work and still stitch and meet lovely people and then get lovely comments from you, my viewers, who are really my friends. It's been so lovely when many of you, I truly am tempted to meet people for coffee and have a stitch along here. I could easily work out a way to travel across the States and stitch and meet many of you. We'll see what happens. So this is the usual battle I have with the wool. This is a particularly ferocious one. No, it's just I've made it too long, you know me. I've also discovered something about my wonky stitches, that if I go slower and just go from back to front, I can control them a lot more and they come out a bit neater. It's when I try and go fast and gather a lot on. So that's something I'm considering, and I suppose that's why if some people use hoops, that would make sense. So there's a little number of the sack. Will we go around that at the moment? And I'd like to have a little bit of, so just to explain what I did for my background, I used this pillowcase, which is so beautiful and soft. I use that as my backing fabric for the whole pouch. So that's these flowers that you can see standing there, not standing, you know. Surely nothing better. I know quite a few of you said that you start the day with stitching, and it is very much a calming and meditative practice. I would agree. Okay, so I'm going down to that flower, and now my mind is saying come back up here. So we'll do a couple of little, don't like that orange bit. Thanks. So we're just going to do some little stitches. How funny that whenever I sew, bits come out of everywhere. So just filling in this white space with a few stitches. Well, it's a cream space really. If these were little stitches and went in every direction, I think that's called a seed stitch. So let's just do a few of those random in here. just to get me back up to that square there. Anchor down that piece of crochet as we go by. It does get easier as the thread gets shorter. Look at all those stitches I've managed to sneak out. All right, I'm liking things in threes, as you know, so let's do a third row up here. See, I've started to get impatient. I'm going to go faster. I did get a text last night from the beautiful Zoe at the Green Door Studios back home, and she's not well, so shout out to Zoe. And she was just checking that I was coming and to the studio today, and it was the one thing that I said, Zoe, other than my husband, it would be the thing that I came home for. Like, I really just enjoy that creative time to sit with the other, everyone that's there. I nearly called them the others, but it's always a different crowd of people, and we bring our own projects and we literally sit around the table and chat, and it's just, as I've shared many times, and I know that there's a lot of you that belong to stitching groups, and if you're off to one today or this week, wishing you joy with that. Then some haven't got the access to that, and that's where this is where YouTube truly, I think, I've discovered is the most wonderful thing. We're all stitching together, or we're making journals, or doing watercolors, or crocheting, or knitting. Whatever we do, it's so good for the soul. Now, there has been more stitching ones since I've been away, as I explained, because I didn't bring all my journal bits. Okay, that's too big a stitch there. So this is Kate, just go to the end of the thread no matter where you are. And I actually quite like, look at those little bits of the woolly blanket. Just little happy streamers. So this is a piece of a different one of those placemats or napkins. Pinky red. This is a bargain thread. Been all down one side and up the other and still going. Down to this beautiful little birdie, bluebird of happiness. I might, though, work over that green, again, if you know me. And I just wonder tundra. I don't know many birds that are blue on top and green underneath. I was just thinking maybe a duck, but it doesn't look like a duck. All right. So what have I done? Bit of stitching here, down here, a little bit of seed in there, and these still pieces need to be set down, but I will probably end up auditioning some flowers to go into this bit. I am running out of little pieces. I do love these little blue bits, so not sure. So when I'm not sure, they can just sit there and we'll think about that. Now what are we going to do? I wanted to, and I did have a needle ready somewhere. Yep. So this is going to be a short one this morning, but I did think I might again practice some of my French knots. I don't know whether I've done them with you yet, but in this circle here, circle in the center of the flower, and I'm using an orange variegated thread that goes yellow, so we'll see. Okay, now just get me started. Oh, sorry if my hands are in the way, but I just need to anchor. Okay. If you've seen my recent videos, I've gone French knot crazy after being, many of you have said they're the best thing. And I'm just going to move around here because I was listening to Rachel the other day, and it does, this particular cotton takes some time to change colour, the variegation, and I don't want all the oranges in one spot, so I'm going to move around a little bit and hope to get, and remember it doesn't matter about the backing, the back, 1, 2, 3, because it's going to be lined. I'm hoping I'm going to get to some very yellow in a minute. But not yet. It's a lot of orange. I might use a different cotton to fill the rest in, but I hope you can see. I'll just show you that up there. So we're just filling in this bit with these little French knots. I think they're so effective, and it doesn't matter whether, well, I was going to say it doesn't matter how close you do or how far away. It depends what effect you're wanting. Okay, we're starting to go a little bit lighter now. So I'll go back in here so we get some variegation. It's not very different. think I'll probably leave that little brown centre in there. To add depth. When we're not out off the edge of the flower. Oh, little stab of the finger. A few more. So there is a variation coming out now, which I like very much. So we'll do one in the middle. And I'll show you. I won't use all this. How many more can I do? One more. Whoop. It'll be a stretch. You can't see what I'm doing, but it's because it's very down there. Okay, let's have a look at that. So this is a big fabric piece that I haven't even thought about what I'm going to sew down, but there we are. In the middle, that's the texture. And over here, I don't know what those flowers, sort of shaped like blue tulips, but I'm covering them in with the French knots too. Okay, so we've probably got time for one more thing together. What will we do? Yeah. I think the important thing to note is when you do a pouch, if you are working on centering your motifs, you have to sort of work that out at the beginning. So those birds are opposite each other because, which way does it go, Kate? That way. All right, we did some on there, we did some on there. Let's have a look at what this back needs. I think let's grow the garden a little bit. In here, let's tuck some, yeah, we've got purple there and purple there. A quick needle thread, quick choice of cottons. Let's do this one. Oh, and I've done some French knots down there. Thread my needle. Come on, Kate. All right, so might trim a little bit of this white around. Again, I just think of the person who made those pretty little. Okay, we're going to put them close to the bird. No. Tuck them under the lace. I think we'll put them in there. just coming through the back. I'm just doing some little stitches around. Oops. I haven't even had a coffee. I'm realizing it's not doing too badly. Okay, so I've gone, so I can't see whether you can see that, the light, around there, and then I'm just going to do some more stitching. I do love how this is starting to bunch up in my fingers. Just wondering whether you use a hoop. I haven't tried that yet. Look at that, just these little bits of stories. So now, just realised that doily part's going to come over the top of this, which is fantastic. So we can go there. It's one of my favourite things, I think, this layering and the accidental intersections of all these pieces, and then the embroidery in between. Go over here. I'll get that little bit of blue crochet up there. And then I've got this little space here, which I'm just going to fill up. Still sort of in a, I suppose if you like to say, it's almost like a semicircle rounded shape, which sort of complements this edge of the so I suppose, again, I'm just thinking ahead, I'm looking at that space there and I think, oh, that there's a little tiny white daisy. Oh, that's what I haven't done. So why don't I just change my mind and come up here, because that daisy looks all alone. And let's finish this thread off. With a few daisies. Might only have room for one daisy. Oops. So I lost concentration then because I was listening to what was happening outside my door. That's a messy one, but that is okay. There'll be lots more daisies to join that one. Okay, there we go. Let's see what we've done. And if we can, oh yes, they've fallen off. Oh, little baby. So this is my pouch of joy made with my treasures that I've found while in the US so far. Today we have looked at how we put it together, what I'm going to line it with. We've done some stitching around there. We've looked at that little bluebird of happiness, and on the back we have started to add, oh actually I like that, didn't realize how close, so that's how you get mixed up sometimes. I didn't realize how close that was to the top. And oh, that's right, we did those little bits in there. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me for a quick sew before my big day. Sending you joy and blessings. This is Kate. Bye for now.